It is an absolute stunner of a day out here. We're in the middle of nowhere, Indonesia. And I've come to the realization that I'm struggling. Very much so, in fact. And I think just verbalizing that is maybe the hardest part. I'm definitely a mind over matter human, and I have a hard time accepting when I'm not doing well. And I'm really struggling with this project, with boats, with so much, and I'm struggling this vlogging. The last couple episodes that we put out, I've had to do a bit of storytelling, and why that is because I've really lost that skill of vlogging, and I'm not sure when. Vlogging it's kind of an acquired thing. It's a skill like anything else. To talk to a camera, like to talk to you as if you're my best friend or my family, and not to feel like a complete wacko about it, is something that I don't think came naturally to me, especially in the beginning. I started all this as more a making commercials and behind the camera. I didn't start in front of the camera like most. I started making scuba commercials way back in the day, which eventually turned into making vlogs about that lifestyle and falling into sailing. And I've noticed that not only am I struggling with vlogging, but I'm also struggling with picking up the camera in general. In our early days of Drenched, especially when we got Sylphia, I felt like we were filming everything, all the time. Filming every aspect of our lives. Every meal was vlogged and talked about, and endless amounts of time just vlogging about Peanut the pig and everywhere we were. And I feel like that was quite easy in the South Pacific with different cultures, and just every day so much action happened. But then as we were in Australia, I guess the culture and stuff wasn't as interesting to just pick up the camera and vlog about. Also, it felt quite weird. No, hey mate, like let me just film you. So I have really realized that I've been struggling with vlogging through the last couple months I was in Australia. And I think what really happened is we took a small break, and that break just kind of threw me for a loop on how to vlog. And when we got the new boat, man, that was 6 months of working on the boat. And in those 6 months, we made 2 episodes. Think about that. We were daily on the grind, daily working on Millennium, and I couldn't pick up the camera. And I think I know why. I think that I was in literal hell. I don't think that I really expressed just how hard of a project Millennium really was, and how we had a team of 10 working on her nonstop 6 days a week, just slaving away to revive her. I think just overworked, and I didn't go scuba diving for 6 months, and I think I really lost sight as to why I do this in the beginning. Like, I wasn't even getting to do the fun part of this lifestyle. It just seemed like work. I think by the time I came out of that, I had an anger towards Millennium. I think I resented her, but looking back through Indonesia, we've done so many amazing things. And now just going through footage, I'm realizing you filmed some pretty cool parts and interesting parts, and I love filming underwater, but I'm not vlogging about it. I'm not taking you along for the ride. I'm not taking you on the daily adventure that this is. Why is that? I just think that I must be struggling with all of this more than I thought. So as of just recently, I think that I've come out of that. And I'm getting more excited, and I'm vlogging more of the day-to-day stuff, and also just the stories are coming. I realized to take you through all of that, I would have to be there vlogging about it on the daily, and I didn't. So, but I do want to do kind of like a recap of what this time has been like and felt like for me. We came into Sabang, and Sabang is the north end of Sumatra Island, and Sabang has some of the best diving that I've ever seen, and that was finally when I was just like, yes, yes. We saw a bunch of mantis shrimp, the water was crystal clear, and then coming down the west side of the Mentawais, we chose this route instead of just going through the strait on our way down to like Singapore, for instance. We decided to go on the west side of Sumatra for really one reason. I really wanted to go visit the Mentawai tribe. They've had the same culture and way of life for hundreds, if not thousands of years. They have their own language and everything, and they live on these tiny islands in the Mentawais and live off the land, and they have their own religion that revolves more around nature. I had the opportunity to go stay with the Mentawai tribe for 2 evenings and to live that life and to learn from them. And that was an incredibly special experience. It was quite raw. Like, to get to them, we had to little boat up a river for about an hour and a half, and then we had to hike through the mud in the rain to get to the Mentawai tribe. We slept on the ground with the spiders. We ate what they ate, including we ate grubs. We went through the forest and picked out these grubs out of these fermenting trees. I like getting tattoos in weird places, if you can't tell. So the local tattoo artist came over and told him about and he told us about the different tattoos that he made. And that was a really special experience that the entire crew got a tattoo together. Went over the top of Java, we came into Bali, where we did some scuba diving in Nusa Lembongan and Nusa Penida with mola molas. And I'd seen mola molas only one time before, many years ago. You might remember this. We saw a mola mola when we were on our way to Tasmania in the middle of nowhere, and that was a very special experience. But this, you just forget how massive these creatures are, and frankly how dopey they are. So we saw mola molas. We were very special to have really beautiful encounters with them. And then we eventually came through Komodo, which, you know, manta ray territory, and seeing the dragons. I absolutely loved it there. Oh, look at this boozy bird. I love the birds out here. I think one thing that maybe I'm struggling with the most is having 2 boats in general. It's been really hard. I'm now trying to juggle a crew of 24 people on 2 vessels, having other captains and the amount of communication that they need so that we're all on the same page, dealing with fixing 2 boats, whatever problem might be in and on them. That's not even to mention the amount of hats that I have to wear. I'm captain, I'm boss, I'm chief editor, I'm therapist many times, I'm lover, I'm so many hats to a lot of the crew. And that has been really hard for me to try to maintain all of this community at sea, but also to take time to edit these videos, because one of my biggest roles and jobs is I feel like I'm entertainer director. The moment that I feel that I have to take time behind a computer is detracting from their experience as well. And so it's been really hard juggling these 2 things. I've got like 3 full-time jobs, and I'm really struggling with those things. So I think that editing and making videos has taken a back seat. And that's probably been the hardest factor in the two boats at this point. I just want to be raw and honest with how things have been going here through Indonesia. And I am finally to a point where I think things are rolling pretty smoothly. But I guess maybe I'm doing this as some kind of therapy. Maybe a motivational for myself. Sometimes just articulating truths and problems and issues and not pretending that everything is all roses and rainbows out here, that it is hard, that this does feel like work. If our videos ever portray that we're just out here diving every day, and that this isn't like a full-time gig, in fact many full-time gigs, I want to put that into perspective. That is not the truth. That this is an incredible amount of work to make this floating community exist and to work. But I make these videos because I love them. I love showing my stoke for the ocean, and I love really. Through all of this, I have always taken my camera underwater. That is, I think, my true love in all of this. My passion of filming underwater that's still what I'm doing out here. And I will always continue to do that. And I want to give myself a little bit of a pep talk here and say, Nate, let's go. Let's bring up the camera. But with all of that said, we are coming into Timor-Leste soon, which I have been looking forward to for months and months and months now. I can't say that I had heard of Timor-Leste before, and I'm so excited to be there. It is a place that has a blue whale migration. You heard that right, blue whale migration. We're gonna stop for about a month, just take a break, and I'm gonna be on the boats alone with just Amy and I for a little bit. And I'm really excited for a little bit of downtime without crew. Everybody's going on their own little side quest adventures, and I think that will be good for me to take a break from constantly moving and from constantly wearing all of these hats, and just get back to what I really love. That's filming the ocean. To spend a month chasing blue whales is my dream. I think I could do that for years, let alone just a month. So I'm absolutely giddy about the possibility of what Timor-Leste might look like. Thanks for listening to me blab on forever, guys. Next week's episode will be back to the action, back to the excitement. It probably is going to be Timor-Leste, whales and amazing things. So tune in for that. But thanks for listening to me, maybe a little bit more personal with you. See you next week.